Happy Monday. Hopefully you all are having an amazing start to your year. Well, today I thought I would talk about what to do when you are feeling unmotivated in your business or you are hitting burnout. And there's a couple of reasons I thought I would bring this up. One, because we just finished out a whole year, 2021. Obviously, we're in a brand new year. And a lot of times there's all this rush. I talked about this towards the end of the year. There's all this rush, all this hurry, all this run up to the end of the year, trying to meet goals, trying to get everything in place. And then now it's this like juggle of kind of cleaning up the end of the year, especially on the accounting and tax side and things like that. And it can really start to be a lot of admin work that might bog you down, especially if you don't have a team. Even if you do, sometimes a lot of these things are going to fall on your plate as a business owner to make sure they're done properly. And so that burnout can happen. I mean, it can happen at any time of year, but I think it's definitely something that happens a lot towards the end of the year and into the new year. And then also there can be a lot of times when we feel a little bit unmotivated in our business, or we ask ourselves, like, am I doing the right thing? And so with that, I thought today it was such a perfect time to talk a little bit about the burnout that can come from having some of these thoughts. I know I'm not the only person that has these thoughts. Am I in the right place? Am I doing the right thing? Have I chosen the right path for myself, for my family? You come into this burnout and a little bit of struggle there. And so some of the ways to handle those emotions, to handle that burnout, and something that I found out a lot while I was parenting my daughter who has special needs, as you guys mostly I think here know. I would find that as a parent, and this is true I think for almost every parent, special needs or not, kids have an amazing ability to push us past our limits, to really find our buttons. In fact, my daughter used to say, "Mommy, where are your buttons?" Because I would say, "You're pushing my buttons." And she's like, "Where are your buttons?" I'm like, "You can't see them, but somehow you have found every single one and pushed it beyond its limits," right? Kids are so good at that. And so I had to figure out, like, for my mental health, and not just for me as a person, which is important, but for my relationship with my husband, for my relationship with my family and with my child, how do I keep my bucket full or my cup full? How do I make sure that I'm not hitting burnout? Because if I'm not the best version of me, if I am burnt out, exhausted, frustrated all the time, my leash is short. I'm snapping at people that don't deserve it. And I don't want to be that type of mom. But you also don't want to be that type of business owner. Your clients see it, they feel it in the work that you're doing. When we start to burn out, our work productivity and our quality of work tends to very quickly diminish to a point where people notice, but we feel like, I'm still doing it. It still got done. I still did it on time. It's fine, right? And we don't see it as much, but they see it, they feel it. And that can very quickly harm your business. So how do you avoid that? Or how do you kind of like do a little course correction when it's happening? And one of the ways that really helped me as a parent, and this translates 100% whether you're needing this advice in the parenting market or within your business, it's important to take breaks, but take them along the way. So you don't need like one really, really big one that's going to harm your business. So you can't take that much time off per se. Take breaks, schedule those, vacations, times off, some you time, right? Get that balance in there consistently so that your cup is always getting refilled, right? Kind of like if you've ever been to a really, really high-end restaurant and ordered a bottle of wine, one of the things that they're incredible about doing, in fact, my husband and I went to London several years ago. His dad is from Wales, England, and happened to be out there at the time, met up with us and took us to this like private members only club, very high end, and where a lot of like members of parliament go. It was very cool. And we had ordered this very fancy, expensive, lovely bottle of wine there. And they're known for their wines. They're known for their wine cellars. Anyway, one of the coolest things is that even though we had only ordered one bottle of wine between the three of us, which is about a glass and a half each, it's not a lot of wine, that one bottle of wine managed to last all the way through appetizers, conversation, dinner, and dessert. We were in that place for probably 2 to 3 hours. Typically during that time, I would drink several glasses of wine, and we managed to only drink that one bottle between the three of us. Now, how did we do this? We did it because of the way the service was provided. So instead, like most restaurants, either they leave the bottle of wine on your table and you are set to refill the glass yourself, which means that you're a little bit less aware of how much you're drinking sometimes. You're just drinking it and then you're pouring it and then you're drinking it and then you're pouring it. And as a glass glass starts to get empty, you tend to drink a little bit more because you're like, oh, there's not that much left, so I'll just drink it. Or you'll just like leave this little bit. It's kind of either way. And so what was really cool is that throughout the entire time that we were in this restaurant, the server was very quietly, we didn't really notice him, right? But constantly at the table, I would like take a sip of wine, and then like a sip of wine would be replenished into our glasses. And you would think that doing this, you would go through the bottle of wine so much quicker. But instead, we ended up going through this bottle of wine very slowly. And it was really cool. And so the same is true for when you're trying to make sure that like your bucket stays full. If you let it empty, if you let yourself get burnt out, you drain everything, you put it all in there, it takes a lot, right? A lot of wine, a lot of something to refill that bucket. You need to use the whole, like you're pouring a whole nother glass. But instead, if every time you take a sip or two, a little bit is added to top it back off, actually takes very little to get you back to full. And so the same thing is true in your business or in your life. Don't let it get to a point where you need a 6-month vacation. You're ready to just like burn the bridges, burn the ship down, get rid of it all because it is just overwhelming, exhausting, and you don't know how to get out. Instead, refill that cup as often as possible so that it's not really a big deal to refill it here and there. It's very easy, it's very quick, and you feel really good about it all the time. You consistently have a really good positive mindset and a positive feeling about it. And so the way that you can do this, right, both in parenthood and in your business, is to do some things that are consistent every day, ideally at least every week, in the self-care category, meaning what do you do that takes care of you? For me, things that I love to do that are self-care, I like to have my nails done. This is one of the things, like I would rather have my nails done than wear makeup every day. It makes me feel put together. I'd rather have my nails done than have new clothes. And that's like something that feels good to me and helps me as a person feel good. So it takes a little bit of that burden off. It's a little bit of self-care. I get to take a little break every 3 weeks for a couple hours, but I go get them done. Maybe it's a massage. Maybe it's a massage once a month. Maybe you meet up with your girlfriends once a week and or your guy friends, whatever, no shade, once a week, and you have a drink. And so if you're feeling that burnout in your business, if you're starting to go, oh my gosh, I'm getting to that point, you need to find ways to incorporate a consistent self-care routine so that daily, ideally, or even weekly, and I mean, daily could be something as easy as a 15-minute walk around your neighborhood where you listen to a podcast. And it doesn't have to be a podcast that's work-related. Listen to something funny, make yourself laugh, watch an hour of TV at night, do something that takes your mind off of the stress, off of the day, all of that, and refills that bucket, ideally daily. If you can, then add something else that's maybe a little bit bigger in weekly or bi-weekly, something that's monthly, that maybe you and your spouse, maybe you do a date night once a month if you can't do it weekly, right? And then a couple of times a year, something that's even bigger, take that vacation or go on a camping trip or whatever it is to really fill that bucket and make sure that life is not all about work, that you are creating memories, that you are having enjoyment. And by doing these things, you will help alleviate that burnout. And then the second side of that, and something that I'm going through right now, is just evaluating, am I loving what I do? And if I am, awesome, and why, so that I can remember my why from time to time. And if I'm not, why am I not? And is this the thing that I should be doing? Because we only get one life to live, and that's been something that I'm really recognizing right now, is I want to be doing something that every single day, even on the hard days, I'm still excited to do it. Now, the final thing I'll leave you with is if you do start to feel overwhelmed or like you're just not making a difference in the world, or you are feeling that burnout and you need something to really give you a quick jolt, a little like, yes, this is worth it moment. One of my favorite ways to do that is client testimonials. And if you have some, it's a great time to go back and watch them. It feels really good to hear your clients talk positively about you. And if you don't have some, just simply go back to past clients and chat with them. Hey, I want to know, like, what's one of the biggest impacts that I was able to make in your business by working with you? Or what's one of the biggest impacts I was able to make in your life by working with you or by you working with me? That can feel really good to hear from clients that are telling you about what you've done for them, how your business has impacted their lives in a positive way, and that can really spark you back up. So I hope that today's call was helpful. If you have questions or comments, drop them below as always, and let me know what you need help with in your business or where you're struggling or if this resonated with you this week. I would absolutely love to hear that in the comments below and how I can help you next week. With that, have an amazing rest of your week, and I'll see you all on Monday.